Good evening, everyone. Right now it's 9:32 on Friday, October 15th, 2021. There is some big Animal Crossing news today, but we'll get to that later. And also, a sock I've been looking for forever turned up while washing in my washing machine. It's one of my favorites. Oh dear, I guess that doesn't really qualify it as news, does it? That's all for today. Have fun out there. Okay. We'll see. Oh yeah. I forgot. This was what I was wearing. Happy Home Academy. This was what? That was Sunday. That's Peck. Let's actually get into something, you know. Is that a balloon? It's fall, so let's go fall outfit, shall we? And yeah, here we are, back in Animal Crossing after... I mean, it's been a little bit. I think the last time we did it was day 500. That does not mean that's the last time I've played Animal Crossing, I should say. That, like, you would think, like, oh, well, he hasn't touched it since, what, day 500? I actually stopped playing in September. And, like, yeah, like, early September, I stopped. And then I booted, and then for the What If reviews, I booted the game up again to do the What If reviews, which are all recorded, and I just haven't put out any of them. Because, yeah, spoiler, that outfit shows up in either the last one or the second to last one, I don't remember. The What If reviews got weird, and the show's over, Praise Beyond a Helix, and I haven't got around to releasing any of them. Inventory hasn't changed much, clearly. Still missing that sign. Oh, mush cushion. Yep, still missing that sign that I never found, because... God. Yeah, I thought, you know, there's big Animal Crossing news today, and I thought it only made sense to do a little bit of Animal Crossing. So that's how we're starting off today. Just a bit of Animal Crossing. Checking up on the island, probably clearing out some weeds. There's not that many, because again, I cleared out the weeds, I don't know, like... Has it been a month now? Probably, honestly, a month ago. And then when I went back, because I did 3 What If recording sessions. The first 4 episodes, then the next 3 episodes, then the last 2 episodes. So there weren't that many weeds. So we probably don't gotta worry about that. I haven't collected fruit in forever. So that's probably something we have to get around to doing today. Or that's something we are going to do today. The tailors are closed. I haven't visited Abel or Sable in months. They have nothing new. They have nothing I ever needed. So I just kind of stopped visiting them. Honestly. The rock garden that the second we made it, we stopped using. And you can tell I played recently because of this. These, flowers. Yeah. I don't remember. Was Etoli here last time we did this? Right? However you pronounce their name. I think they were... 2 months, yeah. I think they were, because I remember saying something about not being able to pronounce their name. It's like a Toli or something like that. Yeah, it's been a while since we've done Animal Crossing. Of course, that's all going to change next month. But we'll get to that. Because part of what we're doing today... Normally, I would, like, read off a list of, like, everything that happened in the Direct. Right? That's how I normally do these things. But today, I've decided we're just gonna watch the Animal Crossing Direct. we're literally, I'm gonna go, we're kind of like one of those Game Explain real-time analyses. We're gonna sit down and we're gonna watch the Animal Crossing Direct. And I'm gonna pause it constantly to break apart the trailer every, like, 20 seconds or whatever. So, that's the plan today. Hey, DeBoy, how you doing? But yeah, I'm going to be doing a meticulous breakdown of the Animal Crossing Direct. Zuck, you stuck here forever. Well, Zuck, you never leave us, because we love you, Zuck. You have an assignment due at 11. I can relate to that. See, I have the assignment due late. Oh, Celeste is here tonight. Ooh, neat. See, I have an assignment due at 11, and I'll finish it at like 10:55. Now, usually they're due at midnight. I do assignments last minute. But I get them done, and I get the grades. Sunday vibes. Yeah. Oh god, I have a paper due on technically Monday morning, but yeah, basically Sunday. I mean, I'll probably turn it in Sunday night. Gosh. How many fossils do we have? 5. There might be 6 fossils, but I'm gonna guess 5. Because whenever you miss a few days, I know like fossils will start building up. I think to potentially 8. I don't know. It's been a long time. Froggy chair. Yeah, we'll get to it. I'm gonna tear that trailer apart. Because as one of the world's foremost experts on Animal Crossing, a title I think I've earned. Well, I know I haven't played Animal Crossing as much as some people time-wise, day-wise. I'm probably pretty high up there, having played 500 days in a row. I'm sure there is statistically someone who has played all 500 and... I think it's 47 days since the game came out. I'm sure there's someone who's done that. But I consider... I'm an expert. I'm a self-appointed expert. What was that whistle? What did we get from Celeste, actually? A lily wand. Oh, it's a new thing. Nice. It's actually, we're really lucky we got Celeste tonight. That, like, even when I'm trying. Now, are you getting the DLC? Or are you going to be getting the Nintendo Switch Online upgrade that comes with the DLC? I'll break those money trees down when I find the new one. The come with? Okay. Because I won't play Ocarina of Time. Yeah, I have very mixed feelings on it, honestly. I don't know yet. I'll think about it. Especially because there's no N64 game I'm really dying to play, honestly. Especially for that price, but, yeah, we'll get to that. Actually, I guess, you know, let's just, while we're cleaning up all this schmutz, let's just get into the news right now, shall we? So, before we get into Animal Crossing, we only have 2 stories tonight. Because tonight was a very sparse week for news. So we got 2 stories. One of them is Animal Crossing, and the other one is Pokemon. Previews for Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl went out this week. So like some like reviewers and games critics and the games media got their hands on the new Pokemon game. And because of that, we found out some more information on the game, which comes out in... Does it come out early or late November? I think late. It's November 22nd, right? For some reason, I thought it might be early November, but I think there's something else. Besides for Animal Crossing in early November. There's something else like November 5th. Or sometime like within that week, but I don't remember what. I know Mario Party's the week before. But yeah. So the Pokemon previews. There's 3 points I want to point out. The first one is the EXP share is back. So right in Gen 6, I think it was Gen 6, they made the change so that the EXP share now affects the entire party. Then in Gen 7, they kept that change through. And of course, in both those games, the EXP share can be turned on and it can be turned off. So if you wanted it to affect the entire party, you could. If you didn't, you can turn it off. Supposedly, Gen 6 is, like, if you actually go and play Gen 6 without the EXP share, it supposedly actually works really well. Like, the game actually is still pretty balanced, supposedly. I don't know. People really don't appreciate Gen 6. I think it's a good game. Some of the best Pokemon in the series. But people don't appreciate Gen 6, and give it a few years and people will love Gen 7. Because Gen 7 is a genuinely fantastic game. We were actually going to play Gen 8 tonight. If it wasn't for this Animal Crossing announcement, I was actually probably going to start Pokemon Gen 8 tonight. Because, yeah, some things came up, especially thanks to the Switch OLED, and we were going to start Gen 8. But that didn't happen. Instead, we're here in Animal Crossing. And next week, we're going to be in Smash Bros. Spoiler alert, but we'll talk about that again at the outro. Sure. But yeah, so then in Gen 8, they kept the EXP share where you get experience to all your party, but you can't turn it off. That's kind of the one thing I'm kind of like, I don't know how to feel about this. Because, like, I get it, but I kind of also could see the perspective of, like, people who want to turn it off. But for some fucking reason... Oh, we gotta go fossil real quick. For some stupid fucking reason, Pokemon fans hate the EXP share change. They just fucking hate it. Which, I should remind everyone, Pokemon is an RPG about pocket monsters intended for babies. It's a game made for babies. You can love it as an adult, but it's made for fucking babies. It's babies' first RPG before, you know, you go play like Dragon Quest or Persona or... are there any other good RPGs? I would say Fallout, but that barely qualifies as an RPG. I mean, Fallout 4 and Fallout 3. New Vegas and the first 2 games are fine. Are there any other good RPGs? I mean, I'm sure there is. I'm just not thinking of it off the top of my head. Fire Emblem, I guess. They're kind of RPGs. But yeah, Pokemon is baby's first RPG. And there's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing... It's the Kirby's Epic Yarn defense. There is nothing wrong about finding joy in a game intended for babies. Because Kirby's Epic Yarn is a lot better than most AAA games out there. It just is. That hasn't changed much. I think we were at KK Cafe. But yeah, so the EXP share is back, and I have no problem with it. I think, because there is this stupid fucking idea that making a game grindier, like having you to have more combat between like boss battles and whatnot, and having to like spend time to like slowly level up your Pokemon, making a game grindy, somehow, we forgot one more thing, somehow makes the game better. That's bullshit. A grindier game is not a better game. In fact, a grindier game is usually a worse game. Especially in the modern day. Because you have companies like Activision Blizzard, and presumably EA, but I don't actually know of EA doing it. No, I guess they did it with Anthem. So yeah, EA, and the example I'm going to be using, Ubisoft, the company that sexually and physically abuses its employees, or mentally and physically abuses its employees, sorry, allegedly, but yeah, Ubisoft, the company that mentally and physically abuses their employees. In fucking Assassin's Creed Odyssey, they intentionally made the game grindier to encourage people to spend real money on in-game microtransactions that allowed you to get double XP. So that way it made the game more playable, right? You leveled up faster and it made the game more enjoyable. That's a problem Ubisoft created, and then they sold a solution. They intentionally made the game worse to encourage you to buy microtransactions to fix the problem with the game. Fuck grind culture. The idea of like grinding in an RPG, fuck that. That's terrible. Another example, Square Enix's Marvel's Avengers. There's another one. The game, on 2 occasions now, has been made grindier in order to force people to either buy microtransactions or to be stuck in that game's ecosystem longer. That's bullshit. And it just happened recently, because the game's now on Xbox Game Pass, and within a few days of it coming out on Game Pass, they messed around with the XP experience. And of course, their reason for doing it is because they want to give players a sense of pride and accomplishment. That's fucking bullshit. They're making the game grindier to encourage you to buy microtransactions and spend money on loot boxes and whatnot. Fuck grind culture. If you want a game that has grind in it, go play either of those two. Go play fucking Anthem. Go play the newest Call of Duty. I am glad that games don't have grind. That a game like Pokémon doesn't have grind in it. And more games are doing that. More and more games are removing the grind. And it's all the better for it. It just makes games better. But some of you fucks just love grinding. That's why Gen 2 is the best Pokemon game. Because Gen 2 has more grinding in it than any other Pokemon game. Which is a big problem with the game. But we like grinding, so it makes it the best one. No. That Gen 2, while not terrible, that's a major problem. It really does hold back the game. It sucks. Grinding sucks. Good on the Pokemon Company for moving forward and getting rid of it. Because again, Pokemon is a baby game. Baby's first RPG. Good. Isn't there that whole bullshit thing that we yell at baby boomers about? Like, we make the future generation, right? We struggled as kids with the original Pokemon, right? The original 2 games that were super grindy. And now we have the modern Pokemon games that got rid of all the grind, and it makes our kids' lives easier. Isn't that the whole fucking thing? And yet, like, we yell at baby boomers because baby boomers had a hard life, and now their kids' lives have it easier, and they think it's bullshit. Like, look at these participation trophies. Even though, again, participation trophies were first given out by baby boomers. To baby boomers, I should say. Like, their parents. The greatest generation or the lost generation? I don't remember which one off the top of my head. Gave them participation trophies. Look it up. It's a true fact. Wikipedia that. But, yeah. Fuck this grind culture bullshit. I'm glad this is gone. Another change made by this is autosaving. Pokemon used to have to save. Saving takes forever in Gen 4. Because every time you open the PC, it, access, this internal storage system, and it takes forever. Because you have to, it saves a lot of data. And it kind of sucks. But hey, they're adding in an autosave feature. That's cool. I'm cool with an autosave feature. And Okay, and the one thing I will say about the grind thing is, you know what? People should have an option to turn it off. I'm gonna go, wait, I got one. I know, I was getting with the autosave, is you can turn it off if you want. I think that's good. Being able to turn it on and off, that's good. The XP share, I think you should be able to turn it on and off if people want that option. But the other mini rant I want to say real quick is, if you want harder Pokemon games, just make the game fucking harder. You know, Pokemon has one of the biggest challenge communities of any video game. You know how big things like Nuzlocke or any of their infinite variations like the Wonderlock or the Egglock, or I know there's like a randomizer thing. Nuzlocks have been a thing for well over a decade now. You can just Nuzlocke if you want to make your Pokemon game harder. Or just put permadeath in your game. Right? You can add these rules to make your game harder if you really want. That encourage grinding. You can make these games harder. I know that's on the player to do that, and some of you have weak wills. I know I don't like Nuzlocke because I don't like permadeath. Even though I've only ever done one that I failed like 3 gyms in, and I never tried one again. Maybe I should give it another shot. But no, I think you can make Pokemon games harder if you really want to. And yes, it's on the player to do that. And would it be kind of cool if there was like an official Nuzlocke mode? Yeah, that would actually be really cool. I know the Pokemon competitor Temtem. That's on PlayStation and PC, and I think it's coming to Switch next year. Or it was supposed to be coming to Switch this year, but COVID. I think that has a Nuzlocke mode built into it. So, like, yeah, okay. But let's just walk around. I just think it's dumb, right? Pokemon fans have all these different ways to make the games harder, but it's on the player. And I think back to that quote from the director of... Is it the director of Fallout New Vegas? I don't know, someone who worked on, I want to say Fallout New Vegas, said at some point that when role-playing in an RPG, 90% of it is in the player's head. If you want to... And that goes for the Nuzlocke. There are no rules in the game forcing you to do the Nuzlocke. It's all in the player's head. So there's nothing stopping you from doing it. I don't know. I guess that's my 2 cents on the whole thing. I think fuck grind culture. It's bullshit. So that's that feature. I got another... There's autosave, which, again, is fine. But the feature I am going to complain about is TMs. They brought... What time is it? Okay, we don't have enough time to harvest pumpkins. So, TMs were a thing. In the first several Pokemon games, you get a TM, you can use it one time to teach your Pokemon a special move. Right? So, Earthquake. Oh, you get the Earthquake TM, you teach it to Quagsire, and now your Quagsire knows Earthquake and can just wreck shop. That's how it worked for the first 4 generations. Then in Gen 5, they made the change that TMs can be used an infinite number of times. And it was an amazing change. I love that change. Because because in the previous generation games, I just hoarded TMs and never used them. I never used TMs because you only get one of them. They're precious material. But in Gen 5, I felt free to use TMs whenever I want. I know there are a few exceptions. Like, there are certain TMs, like, I think the, like, status effect moves, like Hail, Sunny Day, and whatnot, that you can get multiple of. But those are few and far in between. But I like that change in Gen 5. And that change has been in the game since then. And then in Gen 8, they introduced technical records. So you had the TMs that you can use infinite number of times, but then you had the technical records that you could only use once. At first, I was adamantly against it. I liked the way TMs worked. I didn't want them to change it back. Technical records, nope. But then after playing Gen 7, I realized technical records are actually pretty good. Because the thing about TMs in Gens 1 through 4 is that there's only one of them. There's only one Earthquake TM. Technical records, on the other hand, you get from either buying them from the move trader dude, or from the wild area guys, or you win them in the wild area dens, right? Like, if you fight a certain Pokemon, you can get a technical record. Like, I remember having to fight is it Pheasant? To get a substitute TM. And because of that, you can get an infinite number of TRs, or technical records, I mean. So, like, if I wanted a substitute technical record, I go and fight the Pheasant, or I buy it from the guy, and there we go, I have one. And then I can just fight the Pheasant again and get another one. There's a little bit of randomness in there, because you have to, like, throw wishing stones in a den. But in theory, there is an infinite amount of technical records. Whereas there was only one TM. So I like technical records. I think, right, finding that balance of you being able to get an infinite amount of them is good. In the Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, TMs are back to one use only. You get one TM, presumably, and that's it. You can only use it one time and never again. That sucks. And what sucks more is Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl are making so many great quality of life changes. The EXP share thing, which again I think is a great quality of life change, they're getting rid of HMs. You no longer have to teach Pokemon HMs. Instead, they're just special moves you unlock throughout your adventure that you use in the Pokétch. HMs are one of the biggest problems with some of the early Pokemon games. And yeah, so HMs are one of the biggest problem with the first few Pokemon games. And then Gen 7 realized, like, hey, what if we just give you, like, a device that allows you to summon special Pokemon that can use the HM? And it worked really well. Gen 7's use of HMs worked great. Because what I hate about HMs is you have to teach them to your Pokemon, and then they're stuck on your Pokemon. And most of them suck. I know people don't have a problem with Surf, because Surf is an actual good move. But that's the only one. Every other HM sucks. And usually it means that you have to have two Pokemon in your party to know HMs. One, which is an HM slave. Or that's what we call them. You know, the best HM slave is Bidoof and Barbarrel, because they can learn all, like, the normal ones, like Rock Smash and Cut. And they can learn all the water ones, like Surf and Dive. But Bidoof is the best early game normal type on any Pokemon game. Hands down, no question. And then you usually need a flying type Pokemon. Usually that's the game's early bird starter. I think it's in Gen 4, it's Staraptor or Staravia, whatever it is. And yeah, you normally have to carry oh, look, someone else is playing Animal Crossing. You have to carry that Pokemon with you for the rest of the game. I mean, occasionally you can switch it out, but it limits your Pokemon to a party of 4 instead of a party of 6. Yeah, sure, can you get some good use out of them? Yes, like Surf. Surf is a good move. And in other games, you need 3 Pokemon, because not every game has Barbarrel. Usually you also need a water type to learn Surf. Gen 7 got rid of that. Instead, you can just summon special Pokemon, and you don't have to teach HMs. Gen 8, on the other hand, just completely got rid of HMs. And I don't know, like, I didn't hate it, but I also didn't love it. I don't know, HMs kind of hold this special place in people's hearts. So it was kind of like, they suck as moves, but Gen 7 fixed the problem. Because the Gen 1ers are, like, a thing still. Like, there was this thing back in the early 2010s with Gen 1ers, people who only like the first generation of Pokemon and think that everything... Gen 2 is usually fine with them as well, but Gen 3 onwards is garbage, and, like, all the changes they make just suck. Those people are fucking assholes. I used to interact with them in the early days of... around Gen 5 and 6. They were fucking assholes. I hate them. And that grudge hasn't gone away. But that's a problem. And so, yeah, I see all these great changes Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl is making. They're presumably increasing the text speed a bunch, because that is something that needed to change. The text speed in Gen 4 is slower than slow, even on the fastest setting. And presumably they made that change. But yeah, making technical TMs only one use sucks. Supposedly, according to Joe Maverick at Cerebi, there will be ways to obtain TMs again. Maybe if they bring in the Battle Frontier, which I don't think they will. If you can find a way to get more of them, that'd be cool. But I think making them one-time uses is just a terrible idea. All the other changes this remake has made seem really good, some real quality of life improvements. It really sucks that this is the one thing they're screwing up. They're fixing so many other things, and then they're just making this one screw up. Of course, of course, people are still gonna always compare this to Platinum and say that, oh, Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl is just an inferior Platinum. And in some ways, I guess, sure. I think it's a little bit more complicated than that, honestly. But yeah, that's what we got out of the preview from from Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. Again, the game comes out in about a month. Will we be streaming it? I don't know. Probably not, honestly. Maybe we'll get around to it. But I don't know. Because like I said, I was going to do Gen 8, right? Like this, I was going to start today. But then I was like, no, if we do it today, then we do Gen 8. We do the first stream of Gen 8. Then next week we do Smash Bros. Then I think there's an empty stream in there. Let me actually check real quick. I can pull up a calendar in a second. Yeah, so this week we're doing Animal Crossing. Next week we're doing Smash Bros. Because Sora's out. And then there'd be a blank week. And then we go back to Animal Crossing on the 5th. So it just didn't make sense. I think Pokemon I would have loved to make because Pokemon was I said that I had 2 ideas for in-chat games. One was an Xbox game, one was a Switch game. Hey, guess what? Pokemon was the Switch game, and Fallout was the Xbox game. And Fallout, I mean, it worked okay. Oh, look at that rug. I kind of like that, actually. Ooh. Oh, okay. Oh, you know what I just realized there was something I forgot to put on the list. I said we have 2 items tonight. We have a 3rd. And I just completely forgot to put it on the list. I think it'll be fine, though. Oops. It'll be fine. I can totally fix it. We'll just move the thing I was thinking about doing to WIBE. Or the thing that we are doing, correction. It's just a little uneven, but I'd rather have it there than on... Actually, curiosity, what does it look like on the other side? But yeah, that's the Pokemon preview. That's kind of all I wanted to say on that. The game's out in a month. It probably will be fine. Oh, actually, yeah, we can. The game's out in a month. We'll check it out when we check it out. I'm sure things will be fine. I'm just a little hesitant, is all I'm saying. I actually made a new table the other week for the, whatever reviews. There it is. Yeah, there we go. I like that one better. I made another table for the... What If reviews, which I will get around to editing. One of the, because, like, they're honestly not that long. I think the longest one is 20 minutes. And that one's not even that long, actually. Do I want the Switch? I'm sure that's fine for the moment. Yeah, I like that rug. I don't know, it's weird having the bookshelf on this end, but whatever, it'll be fine. I mean, I could just put the bookshelf in here, but then I want something. God, it'd be great to have a partition here. But yeah, I think that's all we're going to say about Pokemon. I'm still going to play it. I'm a slave to the Pokemon brand. Gen 4 was my, like, resurgence into Pokemon. Like, because I got out of Pokemon for a while, and then I got back in Gen 4, and I've loved the series ever since. Because there was a short period where I kind of forgot Pokemon existed. Here we are. So normally... Okay, so let's talk about Animal Crossing, shall we? I'm going to be so happy when we have that tripod, because that makes this a lot easier. Yeah. So normally what we do is I come in and I just talk about like what happened in the Direct. So there was a Pokemon Direct today. Normally we would sit down and I'd kind of go over my thoughts on the Pokemon Direct. That's normal, or my on the Animal Crossing Direct. Normally that's how this would go. But there was so much in this Direct that instead of just taking notes like I normally did, let's just watch the Direct, shall we? Let's sit here, I'm going to pull up the Direct, and we're just going to watch it. And I'm going to be pausing a lot. I should say that right now, I'm going to be pausing a lot, so that way I can basically talk about everything I want to. Hey, I Slap Pop, how you doing? So yeah, that's what we're doing tonight. This isn't what I normally do. I mean, usually I would have done a live reaction, but I was in class when this happened, so I completely missed it. I watched it, but like, I couldn't. The live reaction I would normally do, I didn't have the time to do. Okay, I'm pulling up the Direct right now. Here it is. Alright, so if we do this, and we're over here, and here we are, the Animal Crossing Direct. So we're just going to take this, basically announcement by announcement. That's my plan at the moment, is we're just going to slowly go at this one at a time, and look at everything talked about in this. So let's start. And I will be pausing it constantly.
Hello everyone. Thank you for tuning in to the Animal Crossing New Horizons Direct.
I will say, we talked about this before we start. Last week, I did my little prediction thing. My expectations were very low. I was expecting Brewster. I was expecting like one or two other things. I did not have high expectations for this Direct. I thought that no matter what they announced here, nothing could save the game. Right? That like people's opinions of the game after a year and a half after release are set in stone. Like people really want Brewster, but adding Brewster would not save the game. So that was my thought going into this.
Today, we'll be going over the details of the update for the Animal Crossing New Horizons game. The update is scheduled to be released on November 5th. Let's take a
So
look
November
at
5th, that's usually Animal Crossing updates at the end of a month. I know technically it's the beginning, and that's not far off from Halloween in October. Still, November 5th, not a bad release date. Not bad at all.
Something's coming to the museum.
I do not like that the roost is in the museum. I wish, much like New Leaf, the museum was its own or the cafe was its own building. I think the cafe works much better as its own building. I like the design of the cafe in New Leaf, and I wish they had just put it on its own, because it would have been nice to get some more buildings. Oh, I just realized they didn't announce a shop upgrade in this. There's only a single shop upgrade in this Animal Crossing game. And they don't announce a new one in this. That kind of sucks. It would have been really nice to get a new shop upgrade. That sucks. I didn't even realize they didn't announce it. It's not that big of a deal, but it just kind of sucks. It's a little thing. The actual design of the cafe, I think this is actually really nice. I actually really like this. I don't know how this would look as its own like exterior, But I think this is actually really cool.
Kick back and relax.
I like the music. I think it's really nice. And presumably it'll work like Brewster did in previous games, where like he starts off kind of cold, and the more you hang out with him, the better you get acquainted. It's cool to see other people visiting as well. I wonder if I bet you'll be able to take cups of coffee to go.
By using the Animal Crossing series Amiibo figures and Amiibo cards in the Roost, you can invite characters of your choosing.
This is also pretty cute. If you saw the finale of my Animal Crossing, I made a cafe. I actually made 2.
Multiple players can
So yeah, it would have been nice to use this instead.
Why not save our own?
And yeah, having multiple people come to your island's a cute thing.
This is Captain. You'll find him lounging around on your...
I did not expect Captain to be back. I didn't. I was just like, what's he gonna do? I don't know. I didn't expect us to see Captain again. Especially because, I mean,
Island's pier.
as you'll see, he seems to just be another version of the Dodos. Of course, his islands seem a little different, but he's just another version of the Dodos. I'm glad he's back. Listening to Captain sing here is very nostalgic, right? Like, oh, it brings back those Animal Crossing feels. So that's cool. And then these islands, I don't know, I think this looks nice. I like that you can climb the vines, and there's like these mushrooms and whatnot. New season, like being able to theoretically get the dung beetle and whatnot, or gosh, even get like meteor shards. The potential of being able to get like bugs out of season is fascinating, but being able to get meteor shards out of season would also be really cool, because some of those meteor shards are very hard to get. Celeste isn't helpful. So I don't know if it'll let you do that, but theoretically that would be really cool. I don't know. I'm glad they're adding in some new island types. I doubt, much like the Dodos, I don't expect there to be too many, but it's cool they're adding in. Now this next change, I did not see this coming at all. I was, oh my gosh.
As you may know, Harp runs a photography studio here. The island's undergoing some changes.
First of all, Harriet's back. Harriet is maybe my favorite villager. She's adorable, and I'm glad she's back. Fantastic.
To create a plaza with all sorts of shops.
So,
With a little help from his longtime friend Harriet.
you're making a plaza, which I think is that's kind of how the mobile game works, right? Where you have like a campground,
Eventually.
and yeah, you have people setting up RVs, and people will set up shops. Look at Red. These are 2 items that you can buy from Red. Theoretically, this means that Red only shows up at once every week if you're lucky. Getting all the paintings from Red is a fucking nightmare, and it's one of the only things I am missing in this game. Right? I've done everything else in Animal Crossing. I've got all the gold tools. Okay, I haven't got all the achievements, because like the break up 3,000 tools achievement is a nightmare. Like, I only know one person who has done it. But yeah, theoretically being able to go to this island every day and talk to Red to potentially get one of like a new item. Yes. I still think Red should be a weekly occurrence, and it pisses me off that he isn't. But this is a nice change. That's also his box from the firework event. That's cool. Leaf, also being able to see Leafs here is cool. Reese and Cyrus showing up.
Can help customize ready-made furniture that you can't customize on your own.
The other thing, so with this as well, the lighthouse is the computer. You can only buy the lighthouse at the computer. So that lets me assume that because there were certain items that you can't get variants of. You can now get the variants from Reese and Cyrus. The other versions of the lighthouse. The other versions of Godzilla. The other lights. You know how I tried to collect all the lights at one point, and I only got like 4 of them? Theoretically, you can now get all the lights through Reese and Cyrus. Theoretically. Gosh, I hope I can get all the lights through Reese and Cyrus.
In addition,
Katrina's a cool get. I don't really remember Fortune, like what Fortune does in previous Animal Crossing games. It was a feature I never really used, but hey, it's cool to see her back, because they added that thing into like the mobile app that just never did anything.
it'll be a bustling plaza filled with
Tortimer's interesting, because I thought he died in the previous game. Wasn't he dead in New Leaf? And there is some sort of continuity in all the Animal Crossing games. I know Wild World has the most story, but there's some story in some of the other games. I'm
all sorts of
honestly surprised.
Harriet
Some new haircuts from Harriet's pretty cool. Again, love Harriet. Glad to see her back. Love her outfit. That's cute. She reminds me of one of my old college professors who dressed just like that.
Try out some simple stretches by participating in group stretching at the plaza.
This is weird, but I think it's interesting. Like, so you can do group
You
stretches,
can participate too.
and it's like a rhythm game? That's kind of cute. That's how I'll describe this, is cute. Because you see your villagers doing this all the time.
Or motion controls with a Joy-Con
And
controller.
so, yeah, actually being able to do it, cute. It's weird. I would think this would be a Joy-Con only thing, because that's really what this feels like.
When you invite
But,
friends to your
hey.
island or when visiting someone else's island. The resident representative can now enact island ordinances.
So this was something that was in New Leaf that wasn't in New Horizons for some weird reason. It's cool to see it here. All the ordinance, there are no new ordinances between this New Horizons and New Leaf. Early bird, people wake up earlier and shops open earlier. Night owls, shops stay open later and people stay out later. Bells, I think you make more money from things. And Beautiful gets rid of weeds. Honestly, Beautiful is the best ordinance. Just saying. Beautiful. Like, I used to be like a night owl ordinance guy, but no, Beautiful is the best one because you don't have to worry about
All
weeds
island
anymore.
Residents awake and active earlier in the morning. Pick the ordinance that best suits your island lifestyle.
Of course, to each their own, but yeah.
The home services offered by Tom Nook have been upgraded. More exterior options are available.
This is something that was also missing from the game. More exteriors is a good get. I probably won't use any of them, but hey, it's a cool get. I'll probably do it once. Expanding your storage, fantastic. As you know, I filled up the full 2,400,
It now holds up to
so
5,000.
getting up to 5,000 is going to be a great. It's going to be great. I would kind of want them to expand the rooms a little bit more.
Newly added
Because, like, being able to make either any of your side rooms or maybe being able to make your side rooms a little bigger would have been cool. Because I know your top and bottom floors are bigger, but being able to make, like, all three of your side rooms just a little bit bigger, and maybe even your main room, that would have been a neat get, but
redeemable items will be available for Nook Miles. Let's see what else you can do with your miles.
We'll talk about some of these in a little bit.
Cooking is coming to DIY restaurants.
Cooking. Okay. Cooking was something that was rumored back in, oh gosh, I think September of last year. There was evidence of, like, vegetables like potatoes, carrots, and pumpkins. And for some reason, the only vegetable that got added in was pumpkins. Of course, the only reason they added in pumpkins was because of the Halloween update. But that didn't change the fact that it was kind of weird that we only got pumpkins. But hey, this was something that leaked that it's cool to get, right? We knew the roost was coming. This was another thing that we were sure was coming. This gives me Stardew Valley vibes, obviously, which is a good thing, I should say. Of course, it's not Stardew Valley, but this is a good thing. Where am I going to... I know I made a garden on the island, but where am I going to find a place to put all this? Because right now everything's just kind of filled with pumpkins. I think this is great. I wish there were a few more, obviously. I'm glad we made a kitchen in the house. I wish there were a few more vegetables. 6, I mean, it's fine, but I would have loved a little bit more. But hey, cooking is something that was really cool. I personally loved my idea for cooking, where making dishes gave you special effects. That was my personal, like, hey, this would be the benefit of cooking.
You can make all sorts of
Right now, it's aesthetic purposes, which, I mean, I love that apple cider. But as you see, they only just give you those apples. I never use those apples to begin with. So that sucks that it only gives you the apples. But other than that, cooking, I think, is a great addition. It's something that should have been in the game a lot earlier, but I'm glad it's here. Ceiling furniture? Ceiling furniture was also rumored a long time ago. Like, back in, like, November. There was a rumor of ceiling furniture. And hey, it's good it's finally here. This accent wall thing? This is something I didn't know I wanted. Like, seeing it, like, look at that. That looks really good. I mean, my room that I record in has an accent wall. So, yeah, no, great. Great that it's here. Because I didn't realize I wanted that until we have it. Increasing in bridges and inclines. I know some people always wanted more inclines and bridges. Good little change. New fence types? Okay, cool. There was one fence type that was shown off in like an E3 trailer that wasn't in the final game. And I still don't think it's in this. Looking at all these, I don't think it's anything. Frozen fencing's cool. Now, either that or this white fencing. That's the one we're missing. Either way, customizing fencing is something I think should have been in the game at launch. I'm glad it's finally here, at least. Oh, fuck, I just realized. They don't mention any quality of life improvements in this video. You know all those quality of life improvements I really fucking wanted? Not a single one of those is in here. I mean, they could still be on the update. I fucking doubt it because they would have mentioned it. God damn, that's one thing. No matter how good I think the game is, and no matter how cool this update's been so far, or it is going to be, the fact that like multi-crafting and accessing storage isn't in the game will forever remain a problem. Again, we'll get to it.
The camera app on your Nook phone is getting updated. When changing to a handheld camera mode, the view aligns with your...
I think this is neat. This is just one of those neat little fun features. They definitely didn't need to do it, but I like it. And it definitely makes things right, like I was just pointing out. Having a tripod, for what I was doing right there, would just make things easier. Specifically, if you can do it in the house. I think that's cool. This is a quality of life feature, being able to use these custom patterns for other things. That's some good quality of life right there.
Get in style with different hairstyles. 11 hairstyles will be added.
There's some cute hairstyles in here.
Including the ones that Harriet will teach you.
The amount of customization in this game, it really does have a lot. Some new reactions are always good. Because there are a lot. I record a new video every time they make some more reactions on the green screen. God, I'm going to have to record. I think this is the 6th one I've done. I'm going to have to record another one.
A new Nook phone app, Island Life 101, provides tips on enjoying your island. Rest assured,
this is probably something that should have been in the game at launch. This is kind of like the Minecraft tutorial mode stuff that they added into Minecraft in like 2016 or something. That probably should have been there, probably even 2018. That probably should have been there years earlier, at least some sort of thing. I know Minecraft isn't technically a game that needs a tutorial because the internet is its tutorial, but still. I don't know, this is just kind of weird. It's just not for me.
Additionally, you'll be able to acquire more
some new Nook
by redeeming your Nook.
I like this stuff. These Plaza game stuff. This is neat. And I have Crab Rave, which is based on a Japanese festival. I might change some things on the island to add in some of these carnival games. Sitting here, I realized something and it was like, why didn't I realize that earlier? I'm kind of an idiot. So I might change some things on the island with these carnival game things. I think they're neat.
When your pockets fill up from the day's activities.
Here's another great quality of life improvement. You can access your house storage from outside. That's a good quality of life thing. I wish there was a crafting table that allowed you to do that, or a workbench or whatever. But whatever. Accessing your bank from outside, also fine. I'm surprised they didn't just let you do it from your phone, but because they're doing so many other things. I do have every KK Slider song, so getting some new ones gonna be cool. I like this one, the Vocaloid one. That's kind of funny. There's probably going to be some good ones.
You can even enjoy them from this gorgeous sounding music box.
The music box is cute. Cute.
Looks like something's buried underground. Is it a fossil? It's a
Gyroids are cool to be back, because this was something that was rumored for, again, a long time. It should have been in the game by now. But again, it's better late than never. Watering them's kind of weird.
Have grown on your island. You may find more the day after
But
it rains.
hey, the rain thing's nice to be back. And I like some, look at these little gyroids. I like some of these designs. Especially the bottle one in the middle. That one's really cute. I don't know. I feel like they look a lot different than previous games. Oh, this one's also really cute. They definitely look different, but I kind of like them. The blobfish one.
Nook's Cranny will have newly added furniture types of
Look at that. A whole freaking 4-screen PC gaming setup. Holy crap. We should have gotten a new shop upgrade. A shop upgrade that sells 5 things would have been a cool get. That would have been a nice change.
There's a new type of tool you can craft. You'll be able to permanently place
this is just a nice little quality of life thing. It's, you know, they're adding in all these quality of life things, just not the one I wanted. Because yeah, instead of having to set up steps, you can just do that instead. It's neat.
Narrow spaces in a room.
I hope this also works in photo mode.
Walk through them like this.
Because doing some of the stuff in photo mode,
Navigate tight spots in rooms with lots of furniture.
doing some of the stuff in photo mode, I really wish you could put characters in tight spots. So having this here, great. Especially because like if you saw, like, there are certain types of chairs you can't sit in because of the tight space limitation. So I hope maybe that fixes some of that. Speaking of chairs, the Froggy chair. The one item people were super disappointed wasn't in the game at launch because, you know, it became, much like the TV that's shaped like an apple, it became a meme at one point. People have been chomping at the bit for it to come back. Hey, it's finally here.
On display. And let's not forget keeping up your relationships with the other residents. You've all spent so much time together on the island. They may invite you over to their home.
Yeah.
Or make a surprise visit to yours.
This was another feature that leaked at one point that we were waiting to see if it ever actually came true. Hey, here it is.
You might experience this new content in various ways. Some of them outside of what we've shown you today.
Look at those glow shrooms.
Free update version 2.0.
Ooh, look at those people.
November 5th.
So yeah, that's the version 2.0 update. Honestly, it's like there were a lot of like leaked things or like, you know, stuff that people pulled out of the source code of the game. And yeah, they're all here. That again makes me think that these things were supposed to roll out over time, like the vegetable thing was supposed to happen in the Halloween update. The ceiling furniture was supposed to happen in the Thanksgiving and or Christmas update. The villagers visiting your thing, I think was supposed to happen. I think that was in the source code in like February. These things were supposed to happen intermittently throughout the past year, but they didn't. Instead, they just saved all these features for the very end. Is this a COVID thing? 1000%. This is for sure a thing where they had to delay a lot of this because of COVID. I would say better late than never. And based on some of the reaction I've seen off Twitter, that's the case. That no, there are a lot of people who are willing to come back to this game now based on how big this 2.0 update is. That's cool. I'm glad more people are going to enjoy it. Some of these are some really good changes. Again, I think New Leaf is a good game. I think it is a finished game. It's a very light game. Like, it's very light in content compared to previous Animal Crossings, but it was finished. Nothing in this version 2.0 update changed the game massively. Like, these, like, yeah, some of these are really nice quality of life features. It's cool to have Captain. It's cool to have Brewster. It's cool to have farming. These are some big changes. And if you want to say they're game changing, totally valid. I think these are just a lot of good, nice changes. It would have been nice if if there were smoother rollouts for them. But yeah, I'm way more impressed with this whole version 2.0 thing. I am super impressed with it. I expected nothing, and the big one for me is the stuff on Harv's Island with the other villagers or with the campers. That's huge if it does what I think it does. But
This will be the last major free.
Yep, there's the twist. We get one. This is, remember when New Leaf came out, and then like 3 years later we got the Welcome Amiibo update. This is the Welcome Amiibo update for Animal Crossing. It's a big update that adds in a lot of new things. Admittedly, I think this adds more than the Welcome Amiibo update, but at the same time, there's also a lot less in the default game. Because I know people talk about Nintendo has this policy of start it now, finish it later. And that's what and a lot of people say that's what they're doing here with Animal Crossing. I am on the fence about it because I think Animal Crossing is a complete game at launch. It's just an underwhelming game. I guess this does finish it. I don't know. It's the whole, like you compare this shit to like what went on with Anthem that never even got finished. What's going on with Fallout 76? What happened with No Man's Sky? I know No Man's Sky redeemed itself. That's the one exception. I didn't hate Fallout 76, but I didn't love it either. That's it. No Man's Sky is the one exception to the roadmap game. Nintendo could have gotten 10 years out of Animal Crossing. If they just put out updates every few weeks, or every 2 or 3 months for the next 10 years, people would have loved it. A roadmap for Animal Crossing would have been huge. But instead they did a few minor updates early on, then they did nothing for like a year, and now they're coming in with the big update, and they're calling it quits right here. This is a game you could have easily gotten 10 years out of. Now, the key word here, though, is last major free content update. We can have a bunch of minor updates. What would constitute a minor update? I don't know, maybe some new furniture every few months and some new seasonal stuff. That'd be cool. Maybe making it so that seasons don't have to be played at a certain day, so that way you can just time travel and do seasons whenever. Not that I do it, but I really want Chugga Conroy to play this one, because I love Chugga Conroy's New Leaf series, and because of how holidays work in New Horizons, he has said that he will never do New Horizons, and that sucks. That would have been a fun series to watch. But yeah, so we might get some minor updates. Nintendo says they're going to support this game for 10 years. No, not again, with the exception of No Man's Sky, which it's only been 6 years, if less. I think it's actually been less than that. No live service game ever gets the support it says it is. I mean, some are trying. Again, Fallout 76 isn't quitting yet. Marvel's Avengers doesn't seem to be quitting either, but Anthem did. And there's a bunch of others that you probably don't even remember, like Bleeding Edge or Radical Heights, that are just dead. Servers are, I think Bleeding Edge servers are still up, but Radical Heights is fucking dead. And so is its development studio.
Content update for Animal Crossing New Horizons. We hope you'll continue enjoying your island experience.
right. And that's the Animal Crossing Direct. Pretty interesting, right? Yeah, do we have a happy face in here? I enjoyed it. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Of course there's more. Of course you can see the timestamp in the video. Of course there's more. When I legitimately, because I was watching it live, I thought this was going to be the end. And they did this. Okay, so they do this. And I was like, oh, maybe they're hinting at, like, one more thing.
Something new is on the horizon.
Right, like they say something new's on the horizon. I'm like, oh, is this the hint for the next update? Right, kind of like a, I don't know, like a one last thing sort of thing. Just like hinting at it. I did not expect what was coming next. This blindsided me. Like, I thought it was going to cut to black right there and end, and then it just keeps going.
This archipelago, made up of several islands. Known as a resort, this locale is popular among characters searching for their ideal vacation homes.
Oh, I like the ruins.
This is Animal Crossing New Horizons, Happy Home Paradise.
That's the last free major update. We're getting paid DLC. The one paid DLC I've seen people ask for is a new island, like being able to start multiple islands on the same console. I was always kind of up in the air about that, but this is fascinating because they basically just took Happy Home Designer and put it into New Horizons. I mean, it's a little bit more advanced than that, and we'll see that. I was not expecting this. Holy shit. Just a whole paid DLC thing? Holy shit.
Resort developer in designing vacation homes.
Look at him. Look at him. I love him. New favorite villager right there. Don't know their name. I love them.
Through your work, you'll be in charge of coordinating dream lifestyles for characters.
So it's Happy Home Designer again. I mean, Lottie's back. And you're building people's dream houses and whatnot. I did not play much of Happy Home Designer, admittedly. I had it. I played a little bit of it. But not much. Not very much of it. It just, I don't know. When it comes to Animal Crossing, I don't feel like I'm a very creative designer. You've seen the house I've made. It's not too creative. Admittedly, I like some of the stuff I've done on Harv's Island a little bit more. Like, I think, admittedly, I stole the bowling alley. But, like, I built a house on Harv's Island that I think actually looks really nice. So I know I can do some decent stuff. Like the bowling alley I stole. The animal talking set I stole. The kitchen was my design, and I have problems with the kitchen. It looks okay. The basement I stole. The clothing room I didn't, and the bedroom is based on my real life bedroom. But yeah.
Her dream vacation home is filled with lots and
So yeah, I didn't, especially like around New Leaf, I did not consider myself like a creative type, especially when building people's islands. But after playing New Horizons, because there were some things in Happy Home Designer, like building outside the home, that I was glad made it into New Horizons. And so just keep going on this and bringing it into New Horizons. What? I did not see this coming at all. This wasn't in any of the leaks or anything, or any of the game data mining. I didn't expect this at all. I'm blown away. Like, holy shit, Animal Crossing. Like, I liked the Direct. But this puts it on a whole new level. Like, holy crap. Holy crap, game. And, like, there's some things we'll get to in a second that also just, like, oh my gosh, this is amazing.
While you're at it, why not suggest ideas for the yard? Not only can you place
I'm actually interested in Happy Home Designer. I didn't expect that. Because again, Happy Home Designer was fine. I didn't love it. But I'm actually, like, genuinely interested in this. Holy shit, you know it's doing something right.
And exterior can be modified too. And with the ability to modify the season, time of day,
The season as well. That's cool. Oh, there's so many just cool little things here. Because I don't remember being able to modify the season or the time of day, and it makes me want to be able to build my own home on one of these islands. And there is a thing, and we'll get to that. Because, you know me, I thought of it instantly.
As you continue designing vacation homes,
or froggy chairs.
Various design techniques.
And I'm assuming you don't need, like, you can just get items, like, in this thing. Like, this isn't, like, one of those things where it's like, oh, you have to, like, unlock. I mean, there probably is some unlocking, but, like, you don't have to, like, find the DIY recipes, like, in New Horizons. You just have what you need, and you can get more stuff. Hey, one Darius, two Sherry's? How you doing? We're watching the Animal Crossing Direct.
Interior. By modifying its width or length,
that's cool. That's a cool thing.
Available.
I wish you could do that in your own home, but that's a cool thing.
In addition, you can use partition walls.
This is huge. Cause Dario? I'm sorry I'm mispronouncing your name. I'm terrible with names. This partition thing, like, people have been using the wall slits in New Horizons to, like, partition, but having actual partition, like, we went to that one island where there was a library, like, there was a hidden library behind a bunch of bookshelves, but having partitions in the game is huge. This might be one of my favorite. This one and one of the upcoming features. Darius. Sorry. This feature is huge, in my opinion. I love this. The stands, like these counter space things that were kind of in New Leaf, kind of. You got, like, there was museum things. It sucks that you can't create your own museum exhibit. Even though you might be able to, it's... We'll talk about it in a second. This is huge, in my opinion. Look at this. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. This partition is... I love this. This is something I didn't realize. Like, it was something I kind of wanted, but, like, seeing it in action, I'm blown away. I love this so much. Lighting, also love it. I love this being able to modify the lighting thing. Yes. Yes. That's so good. You're going to be able to do so many great things with that. Soundscapes, okay, whatever, sure. I mean, I don't really use the sound stuff to begin with, like the jukeboxes. Yeah. Polishing, this is neat. The sparkles I don't really care for. But butterflies, that's kind of cute. It's kind of cute. Those are some new items as well. To get compensated for your efforts. Yeah, those definitely are some new items.
Furniture that may be hard to find on your island. Once purchased, you can take it home with you.
And people love this. I think is it a monkey or a lemur? I think it's a monkey, but I'm not sure. Kind of. I don't know. People already love this character, and it's a cute design.
As you receive more requests, more furniture will become available.
So yeah, it's something that you unlock over time.
You've helped out before. It might be good to suggest remodeling.
Remodeling's neat.
Different furniture.
As you unlock new stuff. See, yeah, look at that. And that accent wall.
2 clients can share a vacation home.
2 clients can share a home. Shipping is canon. You know, we in episode 200 of the 365 Days of Animal Crossing, we had Audie and Whitney get married. They can now have a home together. That we're doing it. That's the end game. That's my end. Okay, maybe that's not the end game, but you better believe that's a goal. Getting Audie and Whitney to share a house. Oh, that's the dream.
We hope they love sharing their new piece
I
of
love it.
paradise.
I love it. So much. Ugh.
Say, the island on which Lottie's Paradise Planning Office is located has a lot of vacant buildings. You can help Lottie design these as well to make the island even more robust. Take schools for
This is
example.
something that
Design one by
is
drawing
kind of
a
weird,
picture
but
from your
I think it's
own
kind of
life.
neat.
Or craft the school of
Because,
your dreams
you know, they build a school here, and what did I do on my island? I built a turtle school. And now, turtle school is canon. We can make a turtle school at an actual school. Will we actually do that? I don't know. Because we have turtle school on the island. It'd be cool if you could build some of these buildings on your island. Like, if you could build your own school on your island. If you could build your own... I don't know what else they have here. They have a school. I think there's a restaurant. If you could build some of these things on your own island, that would be so cool. We see a school, a restaurant, a museum. Or a school, a restaurant, and a hospital. I would love if we get a museum. Like if we could build our own museum as one of these buildings, that would be pretty cool. Because that's one of the few things that that was in New Leaf that's not in any of this update stuff, is a custom museum. And that was something I would have rather had instead of Brewster in the museum. Because again, I still think Brewster should have his own building.
Seeing others using the facilities you've designed.
But yeah, it's cool that people will actually use these facilities. And you're not limited to like this is I'm gonna take a self-indulgent moment. In the finale for Animal Crossing 365 Days, I tried to like set it up as if like, hey, these are what these villagers are doing in their normal lives after the series ends. They're just going around, right? Zucker and Marina start their own business. Zucker sells stuff at a fair at one point. Tammy and Sable hang out at like a cafe. All the superheroes go to a cafe. That's kind of what I was trying to do. And this is just making that canon. Right? Animals just hanging out at like custom restaurants and custom shops. It's just really cool. It's a small feature, but I think it has a lot of charm, theoretically.
Captured in photos as design samples, then recorded in the Paradise Planning portfolio.
That's cute.
To view the portfolio,
There's another villager people love. That goat.
From the app, you can visit the homes.
This is cool.
And see how they're
Because, you know, other people make some amazing villages and whatnot. The dream thing's already...
connecting online.
Right, the dream suites are already great. But the idea that other people will make awesome houses, and then you can just go check them out and, like, not just see the pictures, but actually go and visit them, is huge. This is a great thing. Because it's a small thing, but I think it's good. Because, you know, people will make some good houses and whatnot.
Use the Animal Crossing series Amiibo figures and Amiibo cards to invite clients of your choosing and discuss their ideal vacation homes.
So, you know me, if we have this possibility, I would love to bring in every villager who ever stayed on our island to this vacation place. I don't know if we can, but I would love to bring back Tammy, Zucker's still here, but Tammy, Octavian, Miranda, maybe actually give Miranda a chance. The monkey.
With Amiibo, you can
It'd just be a cute thing. Because, I don't know, I think it'd be cute. No, Isabel, don't eat the chocolate, you're a dog.
The homes you design for them will hopefully make them very happy.
That's very Timmy and Tommy.
Design techniques acquired
And
while working with a Paradise Planning team
this
can be
is...
used on your island.
Wait. those bushes are out of season. It's holly only blooms in the winter, if I'm correct. It doesn't look like, I mean, it looks like fall based on the tree color, but I think this is I think holly only blooms in like December-ish. Maybe this is still fine, but if you could have bushes out of season, that would be cool. Maybe that's just me going crazy.
Walls, counters, pillars.
Fantastic. I'm glad all of this is here. I could really use these counters. I can think of so many things to do with these counters. I'm so glad all of this, that you can take all of this back to your island.
Lighting,
I would be so disappointed if you couldn't.
and soundscapes.
And presumably you could take it to Harv's Island as well.
Polish your own furniture to
This
fit
is
your home.
great. Now, I think something will happen a little bit that, like, you might, like, only have this DLC for, like, 12 months. And then what happens after that 12 months? Does, like, all this partition and stuff that's part of the DLC just go away from your island? And I think Eurogamer reached out to Nintendo, and Nintendo says that no, like, if you build a partition in your home and then lose access to the DLC, the partition will be in your home still. It's just you can't go visit the island archipelago. So yeah, so if you're in that circumstance, which again, we'll get to in a minute, it's fine. Some of this stuff will stay.
And by gifting your residents a special souvenir from Paradise Planning, they may become interested in what the archipelago has
Again,
to
we're gonna.
offer.
I'm going to try to figure out how to get Whitney and Audie
Design a
together.
vacation home for them.
I don't know how, but we're gonna try. By God, we're gonna try.
Who knows? Someday, after you've designed a certain number of homes, you might even be able to suggest home remodels to your island residents.
That's cool. That's a cool feature. Nothing I'd really change in my villagers' homes, but it's cool that it's here.
Turning every character's dream into a reality with thorough
Look at
creative
this.
design.
It's
That's the
so
work of Paradise
charming.
Planning.
I love this.
There's a spot open for you to join
It's
their team
so
and
cute.
start
It's so
designing.
charming. Yeah. This is
Animal
This is
Crossing New
huge.
Horizons Happy
$24? This is basically, Happy Home Designer was a different game that was a full $40. This is just $24. This is a great deal in my opinion. Nintendo's usually pretty good with DLC. I know the Smash Bros. DLC is very expensive because I think it's a full, 60 on top of, the base game 60. But, it's very high quality stuff. The Mario Kart 8 DLC on the Wii U is still, one of the best priced DLCs I've ever seen. Because it's, $15 for, 16 new tracks. 16 new tracks. It's like that. The Mario Kart 8 DLC was insane. I think this is also pretty great. $24? Not a bad price at all. But
Home Paradise launches on November 5th as paid additional content.
And
for Animal Crossing.
yeah, it also comes out the same day. I figured this was going to be a thing released next year, right? With how everything's been going, I was like, okay, yeah, this was going to be next year, a next year thing, same day as the update. Wow, they have. I mean, I know a lot of it's reused assets and whatnot from the default game, but still, they. The presentation all before this was already pretty big. Right? Everything from 12 minutes before, already some big stuff. And then they just added a whole new game in here.
New
What?
Horizons.
What?
Pre-orders begin October
Pre-orders,
29th
whatever.
on Nintendo
Pre-orders
Shop.
me, order.
You can purchase
But-
Animal Crossing New Horizons Happy Home Paradise on its own or experience the paid additional content as part of Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack. The new membership plan for
So, right, the expansion pack comes with N64, comes with Genesis, and you get this. And this is what I was talking about earlier. So let's say your Nintendo Online subscription lapses and you don't renew it. You won't lose access to partitions in your home and whatnot. You can't go to the archipelago, but you don't the partitions don't just disappear. So I think in theory this is neat. Including this, and it makes sense to me because one, Animal Crossing is the second best-selling game on the Switch, 1 in every 3 Switch owners has a copy of Animal Crossing. Statistically. It's sold about, there's been about 90 million Switches sold, more or less, and there have been about 30 million copies of Animal Crossing sold. 1 in every 3 Switch users has Animal Crossing. So trying to bundle this in with the expansion pass is a pretty good, right? That makes sense. I get where Nintendo's coming from. The problem, though, is this right here. $59 US for an individual membership. For a family membership, it's $80. Now, you can have 8 people on a family membership. 8 people divided by $80, $10 a person. That's not terrible. I have a family membership that I share with, I think, 6 people, if I remember correctly. 3 of which have Animal Crossing. I mean, maybe 4 even. So, yeah, that's okay. But this price point, PS Plus is $60. And PS Plus comes with 3 free games every month, good online services, party matchmaking systems, party systems, and I know they have like deals and whatnot. PS Plus fucking works. Nintendo Switch Online doesn't work. I mean, yes, can you go online? Yes. Does the online kind of suck? Like, does playing Smash Bros. Online suck? You better believe it sucks. Yep. It admittedly did get a little better. I have not had many problems with Animal Crossing. I haven't had that many problems with Splatoon in matchmaking. Within, like, a match itself, the game's only ever disconnected twice. Outside of matchmaking, okay, that's a whole different story. I have not had, like, that many problems. I think I've only ever had a single problem with Animal Crossing. But Nintendo Switch Online still sucks. But I've always been willing to give it a pass because it's a third of the price. Because it's normally around $20. Charging $50 is a fucking crime. I know you're getting N64, Genesis, and this. It's still a fucking crime. We were expecting it to be $10. I think I said 15. Because licensing Genesis games from Sega is going to cost a little bit more money. So I figured we were going from $25 up to $35. Maybe even $40 at the most. Maybe even doubling the price. But $50, it brings us too close to PS Plus. It brings us too close to Xbox Live. Which Xbox Live also, like, the free games with Xbox Live fucking suck. Like, there's been no good ones. I think a year of Game Pass is what? I actually want to look that up right now. Real quick, I'm going to look that up. How much is a year of Game Pass? Of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. Okay, I'm just trying to find a price here. Come on, work with me. Now, supposedly, while I'm loading this, a lot of this money, rumored, is from this Genesis thing. That Sega asked for a lot of money, and that's why it cost so much. Then you should have put Sega on a second pass. I would, you know what? You should have just, I would happily pay for these 2 things and leave the Genesis stuff out. Or I would just, because this is where I'm conflicted. Come on, just tell me how much it is. For fuck's sake. $15 per month. So if you pay $15 a month, it's $180. But if you buy the year, it's $120. So yeah, Game Pass is just, it's double this plus 20. But still, Xbox Live is still $60. And the Xbox Live, like, on servers work great. Of course, PC is free, but this is fucking terrible. N64 games cost nothing. They should have just been included with the default system. It's not costing Nintendo any more money to put N64 on there. And you know, like, they could have just done a Sega expansion pass. And they would have earned a lot of credit if they had put Genesis, Master System, Game Gear. I don't think there's any way to play Sega Saturn games other than owning a Sega Saturn or emulation. Same thing with the Dreamcast. I don't think most Dreamcast games... I mean, I'm sure there's a few that have been ported, like Shenmue, but most Dreamcast games, you either own a Dreamcast or emulation. If they had just done a giant Sega expansion pass, that would have been fantastic. Nintendo and Sega would have earned a lot of street cred. But the way they're doing this and the price point... No, I can't justify this. Now, I'm going to pick up this Happy Home Paradise thing. But I don't think I'm going to pick it up as part of this. I think I'm just going to buy it on its own. Because I will never use Genesis. I own one of those little Genesis minis. I think I bought it for like $10. Maybe it might have been 20. Genesis has no interest to me. And while there are some games I want to play on N64, it's not that big of a deal. It's not a deal breaker. And I know it's like, oh well, it's $5. It's $5 cheaper if you just buy the pass on its own. Or you just pay $5 more and you get Genesis and N64 games. Yeah, but at least if I buy the thing on its own, I know I get to keep it. Right? I will always have it. I don't think, when does my Nintendo Online subscription goes up? It's either March or January. I'm gonna actually check that right now. It goes up in January. Okay. Maybe then we'll talk about it. Maybe then I'll consider it. But this it's just not enough for me. I think this is too expensive. Would it be cool to play like Banjo-Kazooie for the first time ever? Yeah, I already have Mario 64, and if I want to play Ocarina of Time, I think in Majora's Mask, I think the 3DS versions are superior. I think it's generally agreed on that with Ocarina. I think people are a little bit more whatever, right? They're a little bit more divisive on Majora's Mask. I think the Majora's Mask remake is good. It's not like, like the things people think the game ruined. Nah, it's fine.
Switch Online. Please visit the
that price though, that's
Online Plus expansion pack.
It's just too much. It's like $20 would have been stretching it. Then we got Amiibo. Okay, this actually got from this got leaked a few weeks ago, I think, where it was like, hey, I think Nintendo might have even just said it themselves, but we knew this was coming.
The Animal Crossing Amiibo cards will be available.
Series 5.
40.
And so, it has some of the new villagers, Audie, Sid, Judy, Raymond. This is going to be how people finally can get a Raymond. So people who really wanted it, well, hey, there you go. Oh, I think I missed Audie's birthday. Yeah. Oh, Raymond's birthday was just a few days ago. We almost had Sherb. But yeah, so some of these are cool.
8 cards,
but
including characters previously not on Amiibo cards.
But we have new characters as well. These are characters who have never been in the game before. That's cool.
At the same time as the
Getting some new characters is cool. I'm surprised we didn't get the Zelda characters back. I mean, as far as we know, the Zelda characters aren't back. Because, there was a Wolf Link, there was an Epona, there was a Ganon. And yeah, I'm surprised they're not in the game. But some of these characters are great. Sasha, great. This squirrel, great. This one, that's cute as hell. You know me, I love the octopuses. Inkwell and VD and Viche also aren't back. That kind of sucks. But you know me, I love me some octopi. Encephalobot, great. Getting some new villagers is cool. And are there more?
Series?
I don't know. There might be. But yes, and they also come out November 5th. I'm probably gonna buy some of these. Fuck. Okay, let me think. 46 cards with good RNG. That's what? 9 packs? 10 with bad... 10. I mean, that's with good RNG. Ugh.
5 of the Animal Crossing Amiibo
I maybe buy
cards
4.
on November 5th.
I don't know. We'll talk about it when we get to it.
Check your local retailer for details.
And I think that's the last thing.
for watching the Animal Crossing New Horizons.
I don't know. I know someone who collects all the Amiibo cards, which is how I did the series finale. Or the, I guess now season finale. Wardell? Wardell? It makes me think Waluigi or Wario. And, like, there seems to be, like, in the Happy Home Paradise, there seems to, like, there's, like, elements like that, and I know there was, like, a scene of characters, like, playing on the beach at one point. There seems to be, like, whole other elements to it as well. Oh, yeah, it's right there. Yeah. That's... This 23-minute video took us an hour, or took me an hour to talk about. I had a lot to say. And I guess that takes us back to Animal Crossing. So, I went in expecting it to be terrible. Honestly, I expected nothing. Brewster, maybe like one or two of those other things, like farming, or I guess sealing also kind of made sense, because again, those were both leaked. But some of that whole island paradise, I know there was a rumor, like there was stuff in the source code about like a second island, and maybe this is that, but still, a whole other game is basically being added here. That's huge. $24 or $30 if you buy the expansion stuff. Not terrible. That's not terrible. I'm so impressed. Which is why right here, right now, I'm going to... I said that, hey, if the updates... If there's ever... At the end of Animal Crossing 365, I said that if there is ever a substantial update, we will return to Animal Crossing. And I'm just going to announce right here, right now, 365 Days of Animal Crossing Season 2 will start November 5th. It's not going to be called 365 Days of Animal Crossing. It's just going to be called Animal Crossing New Horizons, either S2, like Season 2, or Animal Crossing New Horizons 2.0. It's going to be one of those. I haven't decided. I like both. I'm kind of leaning towards the 2.0 thing, actually. And we'll talk about that when we hit November 5th, which is, again, I think 3 weeks away. So we'll talk about that when we get there. But I am impressed with that Direct. Could they have shown some of that off at the Nintendo Direct? Yeah, and would that have been cool? Yeah, I guess. But I went in expecting nothing, and I was genuinely surprised. I'm genuinely excited to come back to Animal Crossing, to do daily Animal Crossing again, at least for a little bit. Again, I'm already formulating a bunch of ideas in my head. We'll get to it on November 5th. But yeah, Animal Crossing New Horizons 2.0, Day 1, November 5th. I'm going to announce it right here, right now. And we get there, and yep, I'm still very busy, and I know I'm only going to be busier in November, but I'll find the time. The rules are going to be different, I can tell you that right now. We did 365 Days of Animal Crossing. I don't have to prove I can do it again. So there are definitely going to be some different... Actually, let's go back inside the house. The rules are going to be different, but I'm announcing it right here, right now. So we have one more news story that I'm abruptly adding right now, and because I forgot to write it in the notes. That is the Minecraft. Minecraft Live is tomorrow, and for the past week they've been doing the mob vote. We've been getting the mob vote and all like the new things coming to the mob vote, and there's some interesting things coming to the mob vote. We'll talk more about Minecraft, like what actually gets announced next week. But right now the mob vote is the Glare, which is like this floaty mob that floats around and it detects light sources. Like when an area is too dark, it will light it up to tell you that like, hey, this area is too dark. You should probably light it up. That's cool. I think I like it. Well, yes, you can use F3 to do that. I like that feature because it's not something you can do in the default game normally. Like, you have to use F3 to do it. I like the idea of, like, hey, there's this mob or item in the game that allows you to, you know, like, check light levels. Of course, as part of the Caves and Cliffs update, they're changing it so that mobs only spawn and 0 light level at darkness 0, which isn't how it works right now in the game. So the glare might actually be less useful, but I think it's neat. I always wanted to put something more here. Yeah, at some point we will. I should put all my board games right here. Do we actually still have a table? And we don't. You know, let's put some board games up there. You know, we can do some house redecorating. It's no big deal. I don't like the TV that's shaped like an apple was a meme. Let's put some board games down. Let's put Catan down, which we'll talk about in WIBE in a minute. Let's actually go customize real quick. But yeah, so that's the glare. Next is the allay. So it's a mob that looks like the Vex, but the big difference is that the allay is like a helpful mob, and you can give it you tame it with cookies, and it loves note blocks, so it loves music. But you can like give it things, and that'll like change how it. You know, let's just make a new table, actually. I think it's just wood or hardwood. So you can, like, give it cookies, and then it'll go out and find more cookies. It's not a duplicator. It's more of, like, a collector. So it's basically, like, you could basically do what the allay does with a bunch of, like, hoppers or, like, some water sources or some pistons and whatnot. But the allay is, like, a more, like, mob-friendly version of that. It's more... It's like a cuter version of it. Because, you know, it's not like a bunch of, like, hoppers and whatnot. It's actually got some, like, deeper purpose. I think the allay is neat. And if I had to guess which one's going to win the mob vote, it's going to be the allay. Because there are some people who do think... Like, King B-Dogs, who's a developer on the game, came out and was like, no, the allay does not duplicate items. But I know for a fact there are people who think that the allay duplicates items. But it's neat. I wonder how, like, complex the allay is going to be. Because I don't think it should be that complex. What if we put, like, a custom? Okay, it just does that. Okay. I figured. But still. But yeah, the allay, it's a cute one. And I think, if I had to bet right now, it's going to win. I think the glare's out. I don't think there's any way the glare can win. But I think the allay's probably going to win. And then the third one is the copper golem. The copper golem is basically like, it's like an iron golem or a snow golem. But it has the ability to press redstone buttons. So, like, if you wanted to, like, press a button, well, hey, there you go. It can do that. And that's neat. I mean, there's a level of randomness to it that's kind of cool. But then there's this whole element of, like, the copper golem also rusts over time. So it'll, like, slowly stop working as time goes on, which adds this whole mechanic to things. I have to get this in here. I have to get one of these boxes in here somewhere. Even if it's just at the foot of my bed. I think the copper golem is neat. I will say, like, I know the glare's not going to win, but no matter who wins or loses the mob vote, I'm happy. There is, like, last year, it was the glow squid, the moo bloom, and the isologer. I was in the isologer camp. I wanted the isologer to win. I think it added some interesting things to the game. That was the one I was personally rooting for. I was fine if the moo bloom won. Actually, no, I wasn't. People love the moo bloom for some reason. Avenge the Fallen is a word I see constantly thrown around. I didn't care for the moo bloom. It was a cow with flowers. Big fucking deal. But, there it is, Catan. But the Isolager was like, hey, it adds this whole new... Because there was the glow squid that did nothing. Admittedly, I think the sign thing that they added to the glow squid is neat. But other than that, the glow squid really doesn't do anything. The Moo Bloom also, it made, like, pollinated bees or something. It didn't seem that interesting. But the Isolager, it, like, threw ice at you or whatever. It just, But then, you know, as the story goes, Dream came out and was like, no, I want the Isolager to, or I want the glow squid to win. And Dream's fans came out in droves, and hey, guess what? The glow squid won. And people were pissed. Let's actually customize this as well. Again, if the glow squid actually emitted light, I would like it more. But the fact that it just glows, But yeah, this year, I don't care which one wins. I think they're all... Whereas last year, I was like, the Isolager is the only good choice. People disagreed with me, obviously, because Moo Bloom and Glow Squid won. But this year, I could take any of them. And honestly, I want all three of... Like, I want all of them to win. I'd be kind of disappointed if, like, one of them... How does... Oh, okay, that kind of sucks. That could have been cool. I know there is a... Oh, is it this one? I swear there was one of these custom DIYs that looked good on this stool. Whatever. Let's just make it pink like everything else in our room. I could take any of them. And, of course, people were like, oh, well, how's Dream gonna rig the mob vote this year? And he put out a statement yesterday that I wonder if I can find real quick. Because I'd like to read it, honestly, if I could. Because I actually think it's pretty good. I think it's a good Dream statement. I liked what Ant Venom said about it, and then at one point he took it down and put out something... He put up something, but... Because, yeah, I guess people didn't like Ant Venom's first response to it. I thought it was fine, personally. Yeah, remember Ant Venom? I kind of do. So, Dream put up a statement yesterday. So, about the mob vote. As much as it's a funny joke about people getting deathly mad at a block game, I won't be advocating for any mob, as I understand why some people would be upset with me jokingly influencing the vote last year. It's a community thing, and I'll leave it up to the community. Because Dream got a lot of shit for it. Again, I still, like, even though I know, right, there's all this controversy around Dream, I still think he makes entertaining stuff. A little too yelly for me, but I still think he's entertaining. Even if all of his stuff was fake, he does a really good job at it. Like, it's still wildly entertaining stuff. I don't think it's fake. It's just good editing, good sound design, and, like, there's probably a lot left on the cutting room floor. But, but a lot of people blame Dream for the glow squid, so him coming out this year and being like, nope, I'm not going to do anything, I'll leave it up to the community, I think is a good take. And then I think Ant Venom said, well, it's not his responsibility to act anyway. The way in which he acted here is responsible, which makes me happy to see. Whatever your opinion is about him needing to, or about him, is yours to have. So yeah, basically, Dream, like, he could have just said, like, oh, vote, I don't know, Glare. And it would have been fine. But no, it feels like he's, I don't know, taking responsibility, for lack of a better word. And I like that. I do think that, especially after all the... Right, it's... You don't really... Like, this isn't like a YouTuber apology thing, but it's like it's like him actually being like, you know, actions speak louder than words. Like, he could have done nothing and gotten away with it. But instead, nah, he's gonna actually, like, put out a thing and just not influence the mob vote, as he puts it. I would love to put something on that wall. I should figure out something to put on that wall. But yeah, I'm whichever mob wins it, I'm happy with, because I think they all are good in their own ways. What would be good on this wall? Oh yeah, I have 2 of those. Any good paintings? Oh my, oh my god, this is the saddest fucking thing. Hey, cuz, we're playing board games together. Oh, cuz, isn't this so much fun? This is the saddest fucking thing. Oh my gosh. Oh my god, that's funny. Yeah. Okay, so that's all that. So I guess it's now time to move on. We're actually I said we were gonna do this next week or last week. And I know we're almost at 2 hours, so let's just do it now. Let's move into WIBE. Originally I was gonna give this its own section, but screw it. You know, screw it. Okay, give me a minute. I gotta go get it. Hey, look at it. Look at us. Alright, there we are, and there we are. Oh, let me... There we go. Light. Let there be light. So yeah, I mentioned last week I had these Metroid Dread Amiibos, and we were gonna open them last week, and then I didn't have a webcam. Part of the reason we were late today, I was like 30 minutes later than I wanted to be, was because I went and grabbed these. And, well, I grabbed the webcam as well. I went and found it at my roommate's computer. Yeah, so we're gonna unbox some Amiibo today. Hey, guess what? It hasn't been too long. I mean, I still have this right here because, again, I haven't touched Skyward Sword yet, and I need to dust everything, all the Amiibos. Oh my god. And of course I bought more. Fuck. And I'm gonna buy some of those fucking Amiibo cards because I'm a fucking hack. Okay, let's open some Amiibo, shall we? Let's open some cute ass Amiibo. I think these are nice looking. Like the high, again, Amiibos get more and more expensive. The quality's still pretty high though. Like that, yeah, no, that clearly shows. These don't. Sorry about that. That just hit the microphone, and so that must have sounded terrible. Apologies. These don't do anything. This Samus replenishes the E-Tank once a day. The Emmy replenishes missiles. I know Dark Samus and Ridley also do something. I don't think Zero Suit Samus does anything, but I think Dark Samus and Ridley also do something. So yeah, let's pop these babies open because I am an out-of-box collector. Oh, we almost had the terrible tear there for a second. Oh, the smell of new plastic. Where is it? Oh, it's stuck right there. Hit a can. Alright, so there they are. Ooh. Samus first. It's stuck in there. So we got Samus here in the Metroid Dread costume. Or in the outfit. I like the Metroid Dread outfit. I think it's a pretty good outfit. It's a nice evolution. I like the blue because, you know, I know Samus has blue, like the fusion suit had blue in it. I know, like, I think the anti-gravity suit has blue. The anti-gravity suit's purple. It's got some blue in it. But I'm so used to Samus as the orange, and, like, that's why the Dark Samus is, like, the blue and black. I'm so used to Samus as the red and orange. I think the red and blue looks really well. And I know the suit also, the fire variant, the Varia suit is orange. But I like this. As you know, I like the black and white, as we talked about with the Switch OLED. I like the black and white, as we talked about with the PS5. The PS5. I like the black and white. I like the white and blue. I've come to really appreciate black and white. Because, I mean, if you look around the room, if you can't tell, I like black and white. But I'm impressed. I think this looks really nice. And then also in black and white, you have the Emmy. Which, I like the name Emmy. Admittedly, the one thing that does kind of disappoint me with this is in the games, the Emmys have like this like faceplate. And I like that faceplate design. I prefer it than just like the one without the faceplate. So I wish this had the faceplate, or even like a different figure would have had like the faceplate there, and then you would have been able to like pull it off or whatever. And like it's got this whole metal base that like extends out past the figure. If we start it back here, it's just focusing on my face. But I will say, even though I can't really get it in focus, it looks nice. I like the Emmy design. I really do. And I think this is a cool looking figure for it. Yeah, that's pretty good. They don't do, again, it's just plastic collectibles for Metroid. But it's cool looking plastic, you know? I like it. I like the Emmy design. I wish the faceplate was there because I think the faceplate's pretty cool and I like it. I prefer it. But yeah, good figures. I wish I had that squishy Metroid. There was a period where I just wasn't buying any Amiibos, and the squishy Metroid came out then, and I didn't buy it. And I had the opportunity to get one. Like, I knew someone who was selling some of their Amiibo collection, and they were selling the Samus and Metroid squishy out of box for, I don't know, I think it was like $20-25, and I should have done it, but I didn't. So yeah. But yeah, that's all the Amiibos we got to talk about today. Do I show the Switch OLED real quick? So we got the Switch OLED. This is the new Joy-Con and whatever. And then we have this, which you're probably not getting the best view of that because of the light and everything. But the Switch OLED screen is fucking nice. Like it's not only is it bigger, but it's just a nice looking screen. Like, the quality's pretty good. I really like the Switch OLED screen. I didn't think I was, like, whatever with it. And then I actually saw it and I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. God, it's so nice to have a working Switch again. I've been playing Metroid Dread, and we'll talk about that. And then this stand, because the Switch stand only had one option, and it was like this, and it was too shallow, right? Like, it faced too front forward when you want something at an angle. And now with this, you can get that angle. God, that's so nice. We talked about a little about this next week, so I'm not going to talk too much about the Switch OLED, but just know it is a thing that I have now because, you know, I've missed my Switch. I did. And I have the black and white looks great, and I have it right next to the PS5. So, you know, they're right next to one another, and the black and white totally contrast well. Yeah, I'm pretty impressed. And let's go back to Animal Crossing. So yeah, that's our Amiibo unboxing. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna. But yeah, so that's the Amiibo, and I guess we should talk about Metroid Dread real quick. I have let's go take a walk in Animal Crossing. I have started Metroid. I started Metroid Dread, I think on Saturday, because I got on Sunday, because I got the Switch OLED set up, and then I was like, okay, well now it's time to actually play play Metroid Dread, because now that I have it working, and we are on the Switch OLED now, and like I think I mentioned last week, I was worried about the island transferring over. It transferred over fine. All right, everything worked out. All the save data transferred over good. But yeah, I have a Switch again, and it's good to use it. So I've been playing Metroid Dread. I have not beaten it. I don't know. Supposedly it takes only like 10. Like people are 100%ing the game in 10 hours. I feel like I've put 10 hours into it yet, and I've put. I don't know. I've probably put not 10 hours actually. I've probably put 6 to 8 hours into it. The Switch isn't going to tell me anything. But I've put some time into it. I'm really enjoying it. It's a great Metroidvania. Because I go back and forth on what's better, Hollow Knight or Super Metroid. But I could see Metroid Dread being a contender. I'm not going to spoil anything. Because I'm either near the end or halfway through. Depending on what's, because there was this moment that I'm not going to say anything more about, that either makes me think I'm halfway through, or I'm near the end. And I think I'm halfway through because of the power-ups. There are certain power-ups that I know are in the game, because they've been in basically every other Metroid game, that I don't have yet. So that's why I think I'm only, like I said, I don't know. I didn't realize I had a black chair out here. I'm using the pink one in the house. But yeah, if I had to guess, I'm like halfway. What was the other game I said that about? There was another game where I was like, I'm either halfway through or I'm near the end. And sure enough, I was like halfway through it. But I'm enjoying Metroid Dread. It's a great Metroidvania. It's hard. So two things. Would I count them as spoilers? Probably not, but I'll put up the spoiler thing anyways. The first one is the Emmy section. The Emmy sections are all like stealth sections, because if the Emmy catches you're not guaranteed to die, but it's a pretty high chance. Like the game even says at one point, like if you meet the Emmy, you will die. Your primary goal is survival. Like it's not very subtle about it. And that's really cool. Like that's really cool. The way, because that's the AI from Fusion is back. Adam, who was the commander who showed up in Other M. I'm gonna have to replay Other M at some point. I keep joking about it and referencing it, and I'm gonna just have to replay it at some point. But yeah, the computer is like your only chance of survival. So that's interesting. There's some voice acting. I mean, it's mostly like computer voice, but I wasn't expecting it at all, admittedly. And then Samus's characterization is also pretty good. Like, I know people fucking hate Metroid Other M, even though I hear it's very accurate to the Metroid graphic novels. But I'm not gonna go. I've never read them. I've just heard through the grapevine. I didn't hate Metroid Other M, but I know people really do. I'll have to play it at some point again. I don't know. That means getting out the Wii U. Ugh. But yeah. I'm enjoying it. So that's the one spoiler, is the instant kill Emmy sections. You die a lot. I've died so many times. It's stressful. And it's stressful in like a good way, I should say. Like sneaking around through all the Emmy stuff is, oh my gosh. But then, like, when you finally get to the moment, it's like, oh, it's so satisfying. Every time. But that's been great. And then the other thing, which, again, is kind of a spoiler. It was in one of the trailers. And this was the one that caused all the controversy. But it was in the trailer, so I'm going to say it, is the boss fights. Specifically, the one that, oh my god, was Kraid. Kraid, it's in the trailers. Kraid, I got to Kraid over an hour. It took me over an hour to beat Kraid. Now, supposedly the game doesn't count that. It only counts successful runs. So, like, if you die, that doesn't get added to your game timer. That's why people can, like, spend hours on boss fights and still beat the game in, like, 7 hours. So I'll probably get to that when I do. But I spent over an hour on Kraid. It got to the point where, because, spoilers again, he has 2 phases. And I could do the first phase flawlessly. And then the second phase would just obliterate me. I figured out some ways to do it. But I got my ass kicked on Kraid. But gosh dang it, was I having a good time. Okay, I was frustrated. And that's all the boss fights. They're kind of frustrating, but I'm really enjoying Metroid Dread. I don't know. How will it compare to Hollow Knight, which is, I think, a game that took me 30 hours to beat. And I don't think length matters. Like, there was a tweet going around about, like, oh, this $60 Metroid game made by Nintendo versus this $60 God of War made by Sony. And that's fucking bullshit. I saw a tweet the other day that was someone complaining about God of War and how you can't chop down the trees in God of War. And how, like, your axe just, like, clips right through them and how unrealistic that is. When I first read the tweet, I thought it was parody. I thought they were making a joke. Because no way is someone that stupid to be like, oh, this game sucks and is unrealistic because you can't chop down the trees. I thought it was a fucking joke. But it wasn't. Oh my god. But I'm enjoying Metroid Dread. I think that's all I'm going to say on it for now. Next week we'll probably be back. I'll have beaten the game by next week, so we'll talk about it. I don't know. At the moment, I kind of plan to beat it tomorrow, because, again, I'm either halfway through or whatever, but I have tomorrow off, so, yeah. My plan is to beat it tomorrow, or at least try. But definitely by next week, we should hopefully have it beaten, so that's going to be great. And then, other than that, I've been playing some Fallout 4. Even though I have Xbox Game Pass, I've actually been playing it on PS5 because it was part of the PS Plus collection. But I saw that Fallout 4 Game of the Year edition is on sale for like $5, or maybe it's $10. And I'm like, if I buy the Game of the Year edition, can I just like install the DLCs, or is it like a whole different game? If I buy because as far as I know, the current version of the game doesn't have any like Far Harbor or Nuka World, which I've never played either of. I've played some of Fallout 4, but I've never played Far Harbor or Nuka World. And it makes me wonder, like, can I buy if I buy the Game of the Year edition for like $10, can I just play those? Or is there like something else? Or like, would my save file transfer over? Or do I have to start a new one? I don't know. So I guess maybe I'll buy that, because I want to play more Fallout. Even though I should be playing New Vegas on Xbox because it's in Game Pass. Yeah, God, I'm gonna have to remake this farm. I mean, we've got the room. I've definitely got the room to set, like, I can set up tomato, or like I can set up stuff down here at the bottom row, and then I can build up from here to set up more stuff, but I don't know. We'll figure it out. But maybe I should expand this. Maybe I should make the farm a little bigger. Move it down a row. Maybe make it a little longer. Maybe move out this edge. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But yeah, and then so yeah, I played a little bit. I haven't done much. I haven't progressed much in the story. I haven't been doing the story at all. Just stomping around the Commonwealth, having fun. I haven't played 76, obviously. I don't know if I don't know if I will ever again, honestly. And then, board game wise, I've been playing. So last time, oh, there's a weed down there. Last time we talked about how I had the Seafarers Catan, and right, I did Catan in the Seafarers. Well, right, I bought the Seafarers on sale for like, I think it was like 25 bucks. Well, a few days later, the Pirates, Explorers and Pirates went on sale as well for 25 bucks. And I was like, admittedly, I think I wanted Explorers and Pirates, and I saw Traders and Barbarians went on sale, but when I went to buy it, they were like, nope, it's not on sale anymore. So I was like, fuck. And they didn't have Cities and Knights. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to pick up Seafarers, or I'm going to pick up Explorers and Pirates, and I'll play it like sometime later, like next week. Well, I played a game of Explorers and Pirates. And yeah, it like, I definitely see the influence from Seafarers, but it also does its like own thing as well. Like, it's definitely taken some of its own, like, there are some things like in Seafarers that are in Explorers and Pirates are expanded upon. So that's cool. I've only played one. We did scenario 2, which is like all the pirate stuff. So we haven't messed around with the fish or the spices or anything like that. It's gonna be cool to have a new fountain. But yeah, so we just did the Seafarer stuff, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the pirate aspect. Part of me enjoyed it because I won. I had some good turns with like I got some good dice rolls that were able to allow me to build up armies to take over all the pirate bases really quickly. So that worked out really well in my favor, and I enjoyed that. So yeah, so everything there worked out pretty well. So yeah, I enjoyed Explorers and the scenario 2. I'm probably by next week, while I've done scenario, I think it's 4, which is the spices and the fish. And then, I don't know, at some other point I'll do scenario 5, which is all of these things combined. And then I want to start working, because I really do like Catan. And at some point I got to start working my way towards Cities and Knights and Traders and Barbarians. And then just combining all the expansions. Just combine all the expansions together to make Super Catan. Which will take like 12 hours, because the victory points will be like 30. But oh boy, does it have potential. Yep. I know, like, there are some things like Seafarers and Pirates that definitely contradict. There are some things that in Seafarers and Pirates and Explorers that contradict. So that's gonna be a whole thing. But yep. And then I know Red Dragon Inn is hosting a new Kickstarter for their new like survival dungeon game. But it's like $90, and I'm like, ugh, that's a lot. Especially when I'm about to spend 20 on Amiibo and 20 on whatever. I don't know, it's just nice to have a working Switch again, because that means if I want to play Skyward Sword, I can do that now. If I want to finish Hyrule Warriors, I can do that now. If I want to play some more Hades, which I really kind of want to, because I put a lot of time into it last year, but I should have put in more. So I definitely need to play some more Hades, do like a few dozen more runs, do some of test out some of the time trial stuff, which sounds like a nightmare, but I've heard it actually like works out really, like, because it terrifies me because I'm not good at the game, but I've heard it all works out in the end. So yeah. Anything else? Not that I can think of. Again, did I write down anything? I don't know, I'm excited for Minecraft Live tomorrow. We will definitely be talking about it next week. Because I'm curious, like, what, are we going to see more of the Warden? Are they going to start they're going to start hinting at, 1 point... Because 1.8 is the Caves and Cliffs Part 2. Which I really feel like 1.8 should be Caves and Cliffs, and 1.7 should have been called something else. 1.7 should have been called, like, Goats and Boats or something like that, but, I'm excited for that. Did I have anything else? Catan and just Metroid Dread. Yeah, that's it. So I guess that takes us to the outro. Like I said, we're gonna start Animal Crossing in November 5th. There's definitely gonna be some changes, some of which I'm still working out. But I'm going to be excited to get back into Animal Crossing every day for at least a while. I don't know. I'm so busy. Today was exhausting. I was so busy. Today was, oh my gosh. And it's gonna keep getting worse. Like, because college and, oh my god, it's keeping me busy. It really is. But, yeah. I'm working my way through. Still got like a year left. Which I'm so, like, part of why I was able to do Animal Crossing, especially, I mean, like, I was in college, a lot of it, was because things were kind of lax, but, like, as I'm entering my final semester, things have picked up a lot. So, I don't know how. I don't know how I'll find the time. And definitely, like streams, I don't know if I'll ever do an Animal Crossing stream before noon. But we'll figure it out. Or at least I will somehow. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. And then, yeah. Those What If, like I said, we didn't go to... I've been recording all the What If... Or at least some of them I recorded in the Animal Talking Studio. My ripoff, anyways. Most of them, though, I recorded on Harv's Island. And we didn't even go to Harv's Island today. All 9 episodes are recorded. I just need to release them. I need to edit them, obviously. I don't think there's one that's longer than 20 minutes. I could be wrong about that. But I don't think any of them are longer than 20 minutes. And there's some fun ones in there. There's some weird ones, definitely. I mean, I wore this in one of them. I mean, look at this. Oh, that's not a good angle. Look at this outfit. I had fun. The zombies one I had fun with. And I'll start getting those out at some point. I don't know. I meant to start getting them out on the day the finale aired. And then I just didn't. But in time. Because, you know, What If's animated. I did them all in Animal Crossing. And then we have a lot of time. Hawkeye's in late November, so I have time. I for sure have time. And yeah, I think that's all we got. Yeah. Like I said, next week, Sora comes out on Monday. So next week we will for sure be in Smash Bros. We're gonna do all the Sora spirits, presumably, which probably won't take that long. Any other spirits I'm missing, we'll also do those. And then maybe we'll try out a few online games. I don't know. If we'll do Sora's classic mode. Because, you know, I've done every other character's classic mode. We'll figure it out when we get there. But that's next week. So yeah, that'll be fun. That will be fun. And then I don't know what we're going to do after that. Because again, oh, death. I was planning on doing Pokemon Sword. And now I don't think because I was going to start Pokemon Sword. And that was going to be every Friday because we can just, I know there's a lot of story in Pokemon Sword, but I don't give a fuck about it. Outside of like one rant I have, actually 2, that like I wanted to get into. I don't really give much of a shit about the story of Pokemon Sword and Shield. So we were just going to ignore it and just go through it and then do some other shit. Do the Isle of Armor and the Crown Tundra as well. Because I need to get Regieleki and Glacier and the other Urshifu. But looks like we'll save that for a little bit. And will I be streaming anything else outside of that? Like, will I start streaming on any day other than Friday? No. I mean, maybe eventually. But at the moment, I mean, again, for Animal Crossing, I'll make the exception. But other than Animal Crossing, probably not for a while. I gotta finish. College is just too much right now. I'm doing too much. I would love to. Maybe things will return to normal in a year. Maybe they won't. I don't know. We'll see. Growing up, you have responsibilities, man. You really do. You can't just play video games unless you're one of those Twitch streamers who makes like, I don't know, $1 million, $100 million. Or you're like Hassan who just streams every day. I don't even remember how much Hassan made. I just know it was a lot from the Twitch Giga leak, which there's supposedly, as far as I know, the second half of that hasn't come out yet. So yeah, that's only a matter of time. Again, reset. I think Steam resetted all the stream keys, but reset your passwords because that probably totally got out. And yeah, so after an hour of talking Animal Crossing, that's where we're ending off. Gosh, I cannot believe we talked about that for an hour. Like, legitimately, I thought it was going to take, like, 30 minutes at most. Okay, a little more than that, but, like, I didn't think it was going to take that long. Yeah. But that wasn't going through it, like, in pausing every few seconds. I actually think that worked out pretty well. To get meta for a second there. I think that worked out, actually. Maybe I'll consider doing that in future in chats. Which, by the way, I just called this one in chat, and I did the same thing for the Fallout 76 one 2 weeks ago. I didn't call it, like, Animal Crossing in chat. I just called it in chat. And, because in chats, I should say, when Animal Crossing starts up again in November, in chat goes away. I think that's important to say, is that as of this moment, like, because Animal Crossing was basically in chat for a year. So in chat's probably going to go away. And then if I bring it back next year, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Because I still have a few other ideas. And part of me, again, to stay meta for a moment, part of me feels like if the show was just me doing like a just chatting thing in front of the camera, I'd like it more, because there are definitely some days and some games where I just feel completely off my game. Where I just feel like the shit we're talking about, like I'm either just too into what I'm talking about, or I'm too into the game, or usually it's like the game, I'm too into the game and like I keep getting distracted, which doesn't make for good podcasting, but I don't know, that's me getting meta. I hate getting meta. Because there are some YouTubers I like who I just eventually forced myself to stop watching because they got too meta. Like, they just wouldn't stop it every video. Mayro. That's who it was. That's the prime example. Loved their content, but they just kept being every video, and I just couldn't take it anymore. But yeah, we'll be back next week with Smash Bros. So I hope you all enjoyed. Stay tuned for more. Until next time. Peace.